$81.5 billion, and how the FTC just issued an urgent alert to everyone aged 60 and over. I have all the details for you here in this video, as well as I do have this article right here, which I will pop up on the screen in just a second so you can see and read for yourself exactly what they're talking about right here. And this is a major, major issue right now, especially for those of you out there that are 60 and over. I want you to be very aware of this. We're talking almost $100 billion. $81.5 billion, according to the FTC, which stands for Federal Trade Commission. And I'll pop this article up in just a second here. Now, the information that I want to share with you may sound a little bit redundant, a little bit repetitive, but at the same time, obviously this message needs to be made simply because we're talking about tens of billions of dollars here of your money, and this is very, very important. Anyway, let's pop this article up right here, right now. Feel free to read through the details of this. I'll point out some of the key details that I want to share with you. The FTC just came out with this report and said between 2024-2025, seniors lost upwards of $81.5 billion because of scammers literally in the last year or so. That is nuts. Now, it depends on how you calculate this, and it says it right here in this article as well. Depends on what methodologies you use to actually calculate this. Taking into consideration all of the money that was unreported, they're talking $81.5 billion. Now, it's a huge range, but regardless, $1 is still too much. $10 to $81 billion is way too much money. Now, again, they specifically focus on those individuals that are essentially about 60 years of age and over. This is, unfortunately, the sweet spot when it comes to scammers. And I know that sounds very weird to say, but that's the reality. And again, I've said this earlier in a couple other videos that I've had recently where I've come across other information like this, trying to give these warnings out, is unfortunately, a lot of the times, scammers look at seniors as like deep pocket individuals, right? Now, again, I totally recognize this is not always the case. I know that this is not always true for everybody, but in general, a lot of people look at seniors as those individuals that have generally a lot of money, right? And again, I know that's not the case, but here's the thing. You know, to somebody, $1 million may be a lot of money. To somebody else, $1,000 may be a lot of money. It doesn't matter. It's a relative term. Money is money, and again, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be $1, it could be 5 cents. I don't care what it is. If they're getting money out of anybody, it's too much. A penny, 5 cents, 10 cents, $5,000, $5 million. It literally doesn't matter. Anything that is being wrongly taken from seniors or anybody is too much, right? I think we can all probably agree with that. Anyway, here's the situation. So if you read through the article, it's actually very interesting. Again, like not in a good way, but like interesting in a very like nasty way. But what they found is that the average person loses $2,210 from an unsuspecting phone call. Okay, so we get all these calls every day. I'm not sure about you. I get calls every day. It's so annoying, right? It's like a local phone number. You pick it up and you're like, you know, it's some random person saying, yeah, we're calling about X, Y, or Z. And it's like, yeah, whatever, just hang up, right? But anyway, it's so incredibly annoying getting these. And I'm guessing everybody else gets these calls too. I mean, I think we all get these calls. Multiple a day probably. Drop your comments down below. Do you get these calls constantly as well? But anyway, a lot of the times what they do is they may try to pose as like your financial institution, or they try to intercept your social security checks, or they come in and they act like, oh, I'm the IRS, or I'm your local law enforcement, or they pretend to be some figure of authority, and they may give a threatening message like, if you don't comply, we're going to cut off your social security check. If you don't comply, we're going to arrest you. Yeah, okay. Why don't you come on over and get me then? Yeah, come and arrest me. I've done nothing. I've done nothing wrong, right? So whatever. But my point is, it can be very scary. That's the problem, is that they prey on this because, hey, we're going to scare these people and then we're going to prey on them once they're scared. And that's unfortunately something that's working, obviously, to a tune of tens of billions of dollars a year right out of the pockets of seniors and the bank accounts of seniors who probably don't really have a whole lot of money in the first place, at least the majority that we talk about. And from the reports out there, obviously some do, but the vast majority of people out there, living their retirement, just trying to enjoy their life, are mostly living on a little bit of savings, maybe a 401k, maybe some investments, but a lot of their income, as you know, because you've been watching the videos here on the channel for a while now, which is their Social Security monthly benefit, is the bulk of income for the vast majority of seniors. That's scary. And to think that maybe like a month or 2 or 3 or 6 or even 12 months worth of your money, your benefits, or even your savings could be just wrongly taken from you and probably not coming back, that's very, very scary. This could be a huge financial disaster for a lot of people. And again, I know that this sounds a little bit redundant. I know that it's repetitive. And I know over the last month or so, I've had a couple other videos talking about like urgent announcements out of the FBI and the IRS and things like this. Here's why. This is the time of year where not only retailers are making sales and making a bunch of money, but the scammers are also getting a huge pay bump this time of year as well, because they're preying on people who are maybe trying to do a little bit of shopping or trying to do something nice for the holidays for somebody else, and they're preying on that, which is nasty, right? So my point being is that when I come across articles like this from the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, or when I come across articles like I've shared with you over the last month or month and a half or so from the FBI and the IRS and these other high-profile agencies, when I come across this information and I read this, I feel like if I were to read this and not share this with you in this community, I feel like I'd be doing a massive disservice to you. Even though that this sounds repetitive, even though it seems like all of us know better, I don't know. When I read an article like this, I'm like, I have to share this with you. It is like my moral obligation to share this with you, because even if this helps save one person money from being scammed, it is 100% worth my time to share this information with you. I don't want to see any of you getting hurt by these scams. It is nasty. And the problem is, we're all getting these phone calls. We're all getting these emails. We're being contacted in a variety of ways every single day, right? At what point do they have a tactic that maybe gets through and like, oh, you're right. It is the local law enforcement. Oh no, I better send you a Venmo right now today or something ridiculous like that. By the way, that would never happen. That would never ever happen, right? I'm just saying, in reality, that's just like not a thing that would ever happen, okay? And again, I know it sounds super basic, but please protect your personal data as much as you possibly can. Quick side note, by the way, I don't know if I shared this with you recently, just like a couple weeks ago, actually like 3 weeks ago or something like that, had my credit card number stolen. Not fun. They started buying all kinds of random stuff that at stores that I've never shopped at before, and I was like, this is weird, right? Obviously, I got a phone call and a text message from my credit card holder, which is Chase, right? I have like multiple credit cards through Chase, but they contacted me and they're like, hey, we see some fraudulent activity on your card. And I was like, okay, like, what is it, right? Anyway, in the text message, it said something like, did you just make this purchase? And I was like, no, that wasn't me. I've never even heard of this store. Anyway, long story short, that's a massive headache, right? Just to go through that, calling the credit card, getting everything frozen and new cards and accounts issued and stuff like that. It's a waste of time. I hate doing stuff like that. It's a total waste of time. So anyway, that just happened to me like 3 weeks ago. So happens to everybody all the time, right? So I don't know how the person got my card number. Who knows? But it happened, and it was just not a fun scenario. Okay, obviously could have been way worse, but that's just my experience recently. All right, anyway, hope this helps you. Please stay safe out there. And again, I know it's a very ambiguous statement, but just protect your personal information, like at all. As much as you can, right? At all costs, like protect your personal information. Don't give it to anybody. I know that sounds super basic, but apparently we need to keep hammering this message, because there's a lot of people out there that are unfortunately being taken advantage of, and that's not a cool thing, especially on seniors. Not cool. Anyway, I hope this helps you. Please, if you don't doubt so, please consider subscribing. 100% free. Big subscribe button right down below. Please share the video as well. Big share button right down below. Otherwise, check out the other thousands of videos here on the channel in the video library, the 6,000-ish videos. Otherwise, until next time, enjoy your day. Happy holidays. Stay safe out there. And again, please consider subscribing. Share the video. Until next time, have a good one, and I'll catch you again later in the next video. See you later.